This is the news at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Ayotunde Balogun.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, former President Goodluck Jonathan says the 2014 Chibok schoolgirls abduction left a scar that will stay with him for life as he and others push for a new approach to fighting insurgency. Pan-Africanist Patrick Lumumba says Nigeria must claim its pride of place in leading Africa's resurgence. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Works Minister, commissions major roads and other projects in Abia State. And Donald Trump gives Hamas Sunday deadline to accept his Gaza peace plan or face severe consequences.
On business, the central bank governor says Nigeria's crypto market adoption calls for better understanding in the financial market.
On sports news tonight, Super Eagles coach Eric Shell names 23-man Super Eagles squad for World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Benin.
And from the nation's capital, Nigeria's Center for Disease Control, NCDC, puts death toll from Lassa fever in Nigeria at 168.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo is warning that the Boko Haram insurgency has grown into a monster within Nigeria's national life, stressing that it must be confronted decisively. He made the remarks at the unveiling of a new book by former Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo, where he urged Nigerians to ask tough questions in order to effectively tackle the menace. Also speaking at the event, former President Goodluck Jonathan reflected on the emergence of Boko Haram during his administration. He described the abduction of the Chibok schoolgirls in 2014 as a painful scar that will remain with him for the rest of his life. Our correspondent, Daily Omoyeni, reports.
Retired Colonel Bako, who is here.
It's a gathering of eminent personalities from all walks of life to celebrate the former Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, at his book launch.
The welcome address. So we can get this activity.
The book, titled Scars, Nigeria's Journey and the Boko Haram Conundrum, has in attendance former presidents, military chiefs, traditional rulers, and ministers.
So that when she enters the court,
the author of the book considers it as his contribution to the fight against insurgency and the multifaceted security challenges confronting the country. The Minister of Defense is representing President Bola Tinubu at the event and is confident that the Nigerian military can defeat insurgency.
Under the renewed hope agenda, we are determined to transform Nigeria into a nation of peace, opportunity, and unity. Security is at the heart of this vision. We are modernizing our armed forces with modern platforms and relevant technology. We are also streamlining intelligence gathering, capability, and deepening regional partnership to boost collective security.
However, the chairman and the chief host of the occasion posed some questions on the Boko Haram impasse.
I went to Maiduguri to try and find out. After Boko Haram has attacked the UN office here in Abuja, if that's Boko Haram, what was it? Who were there? What are the objectives? What do they want?
The weapons they use, the ammunition they use, sometimes they even have more ammunition than our soldiers. So it doesn't show that they're hungry people. And where are these guns, sophisticated weapons coming from? And you begin to see that the external hands are also involved. And the title of the book is quite interesting. Scars and the Boko Haram Conundrum. It is interesting because, when I was in office, and one of the major scars on my government, and it would be on my face, and like Bishop Cook has said, no plastic or cosmetic surgeon can remove it, is the issue of the Chibok girls. is a scar that I will die with. But later on, people may know a little more details. And that's also to do with the Boko Haram. What do they really want?
In their goodwill messages, some of the dignitaries give their insights into the Boko Haram insurgency.
Obviously, you cannot legislate love and you cannot enforce affection. It is something that has to come from within the soul. If other countries have been able to do that, and Rwanda is a perfect example.
Islamism is not aimed at seizing power at any particular forum. Islam is after good governance in society, and whoever is there.
Boko Haram can be defeated. It is a whole of society approach to the solution. It's not a one-off thing. Like I said, it must be deliberate. Where we got to where we are today, when it started, it should have been nipped in the bud. Asymmetric warfare is a different kind of warfare to conventional kind of warfare. Conventional, you are dealing with states. Asymmetric warfare, the enemy is within.
The book reviewer has some advice for Nigeria's leaders.
Is there a war room in the villa? Because there ought to be a war room where senior military officers, intelligence officers are sitting and thinking, what might tomorrow look like? The Nigerian military must be inspired by this book to also create a sense of urgency about returning to the barracks so that their honor, their integrity, their professionalism can be guaranteed.
The author, who turns 60 on October 5, is overwhelmed by the show of support.
I have always believed that man exists to solve problems. If you are not solving any problem, then your existence is worthless. Therefore, let us remember the victims of Boko Haram's atrocities. And let us also note that scars, the journey, Nigeria's journey and Boko Haram conundrum is not an indictment.
Nigeria's journey and the Boko Haram conundrum.
At this book launch, questions have been asked, experiences have been shared, perspectives have been given. But one thing that is in common with all the speakers is that Nigerians have to come together to deal with the scourge of Boko Haram and insecurity. Daily Omoyeni, Channels Television News.
Just days after Nigeria marked its 65th independence anniversary, the nation's central role in Africa's development has once again taken the spotlight. Delivering a powerful address at the Lagos Island Club's Independence Lecture and Awards Night, renowned Pan-Africanist and leadership mentor Professor Patrick Lumumba underscored Nigeria's strategic influence in driving the continent's political, economic and cultural renaissance. Professor Lumumba stressed that Nigeria must fully harness its immense potential in order to reclaim and strengthen its leadership role across Africa.
I speak at a time when it can be said that the continent of Africa is going through a midlife crisis. It is a midlife crisis that is punctuated by the dissatisfaction of young Africans. Young Africans who believe that the promises that were made by the founding fathers and founding mothers have not been fulfilled. It is a demonstration of the fact that there is a lot of work to be done. But it is on an occasion such as this that is also incumbent upon us to remember by a dint of history that the post-colonial African state, as we know them today, were designed to fail. We are at a difficult time in Africa, and that time can only be resolved if we make a solemn resolve. Today, we must remember the words of those who are in the forefront of leadership. Today, I remember the words of a great South African, a man who you must know, Pixley Kaisa Kaseme. Speaking in the year 1906, he said that Africa must be regenerated. And I'm suggesting that it is Nigeria that must be in the forefront of the regeneration of Africa. I'm also hearing it being said in 1957, on the 6th day of March 1957, the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah said that the independence of Ghana meant nothing. Today I'm saying that the new liberation of Africa will only happen if Nigeria is in the forefront. I'm urging you, you movers and shakers, go out there and move and shake the political leadership so that they are able to do that which is good and right. You have the ability, because if you don't do it, history will judge you harshly.
FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is reiterating the need for contractors to ensure timely delivery of projects aimed at easing traffic along major routes in Abuja city centre. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony for the construction of a road linking the Central Business District to the Wuse districts, the minister emphasized that the project is a priority intervention designed to advance the vision of making the FCT a modern capital. Our correspondent Sarah Chimugu reports.
The Central Business District and the Wuse District of the nation's capital are part of the next phase of infrastructure development in the Federal Capital Territory. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory is joined by his political associates and officials of the FCT administration for the official flag-off of the construction of a road connecting the two districts. The project is designed to ease traffic congestion along the central area, a major district where most offices are located, and the Wuse district, which serves as residential and commercial purpose.
The transit way in the Abuja Master Plan is a public transport system infrastructure which combines the rail mode and bus rapid transport network, designed to link the city center with sector centers along the development corridors as well as to the satellite towns.
For the FCT minister, the project is a promise kept, as he plans to make the FCT comparable with other capital cities globally.
The flag-off and commissioning will continue till almost the 20th of October. And then from November we'll start to commission some other projects which we think are very vital, which we think are very important to grow the economy of the FCT and improve the landscape of the FCT.
He also used the occasion to ask officials of the FCT administration to sit up.
If your funds are off, it means you are not prepared for the job. Your funds must be on, because I may call you at any time. So, if you know that you want your job, your own area, to be noticed by this country and administration, keep your phones on 24 hours.
After the speeches, the minister then proceeds to flag off the project. This symbolic flag-off exercise marks the beginning of a journey towards easing traffic congestions along the central area to the Wuse district corridor. Sarah Chimugu, Channels Television News.
In part two, after the break, Nigeria's Center for Disease Control, NCDC, puts death toll from Lassa fever in Nigeria at 168. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the News at 10 live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Former President Goodluck Jonathan says the 2014 Chibok schoolgirls abduction left a scar that will stay with him for life as he and others push for a new approach to fighting insurgency. Pan-Africanist Patrick Lumumba says Nigeria must claim its pride of place in leading Africa's resurgence. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Works Minister, commissions major roads and other projects in Abia State. And Hamas agrees to release hostages. Abia State came alive today as President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, commissioned the newly remodeled Dr. Michael Okpara Auditorium and several road projects executed by the Governor Alex Otti administration. Speaking during the commissioning in Aba, the President, speaking through his representative, commended Governor Otti for the quality of the project and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting states in delivering critical infrastructure.
Residents of Umuahia troop out in large numbers to welcome the Minister of Works, David Umahi, Governor Alex Otti and other dignitaries for the inauguration of projects across the state. The Minister of Works, who represented President Bola Tinubu, begins his tour with the official inauguration of the newly remodeled Michael Okpara Auditorium. He is joined by Governor Otti, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, as well as Senator Eyinaya Abaribe. From Umuahia, the delegation moves to Aba, where the minister commissioned the reconstructed Port Harcourt Road, a strategic road project in the state, before proceeding to inaugurate 7 additional legacy roads. After the ceremonies, Mr. Umahi takes to the podium.
The impossible Port Harcourt-Aba Road, 43 kilometers. Our government has completed fully 1 carriageway. 15 minutes from Aba, you will be in Port Harcourt. And I know very well that a lot of Abia people do business in One Port.
Governor Otti, in his remarks, highlights the economic importance of the roads and appreciates President Tinubu for his support.
It is to the eternal credit of the present federal administration that Aba now welcomes hundreds of thousands of customers each week from Port Harcourt and other parts of River State. Businesses in Aba are also experiencing a surge in patronage from our brothers and sisters in Ekore Beni, Uyo, Calabar, and other parts of Akwa Ibom and Cross River States, who now access the city with little hassle following the rehabilitation of the Aba-Ekore-Bene Federal Highway.
From the Michael Okpara Auditorium in Umuahia to the bustling streets of Aba, these newly commissioned projects signal a new chapter in Abia's infrastructure renewal drive.
Right, let's head to the nation's capital, and Victoria Longjohn is standing by to give us the latest from our Abuja studios. Over to you, Victoria.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has reported that the death toll from Lassa fever in Nigeria has risen to 168, an increase from 166 in its latest report released today. The agency disclosed that between January 1 and September 21, the case fatality climbed to 18.5% compared to 16.9% recorded in the same period of 2024. According to the NCDC, as of week 38, Nigeria has recorded 7,792 suspected cases and 906 confirmed cases of Lassa fever across 21 states and 106 local government areas. The World Health Organization describes Lassa fever as an acute viral illness caused by the Lassa virus. And Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has reaffirmed his commitment to making the state the preferred investment destination in Nigeria, emphasizing its vast potential and capacity for growth. He stated his administration's determination to position the state as a hub for business, economic growth and sustainable development. Governor Mohammed made these remarks during a community engagement and interactive session with key stakeholders in the state. Our correspondent Hajara Aliyu reports.
Ahead of the inaugural Bauchi State Investment Summit, the state government is showcasing its preparedness to welcome investors through a community engagement and interactive session with stakeholders in Bauchi. This event comes on the heels of a series of successful roadshows across Nigeria's geopolitical zones, which is aimed at highlighting Bauchi's diverse investment opportunities. The engagement is attended by traditional leaders, members of the business community, political figures, and other key stakeholders.
Your Excellency, we are here today to engage the major stakeholders that we have here in the state to inform them of what the summit is about. Your Excellency, they are not just stakeholders, they are co-owners of the processes, and that is why they are here.
A promotional video highlighting Bauchi's investment climate is presented to the stakeholders. In his address, Governor Bala Mohammed extends a warm invitation to prospective investors, assuring them of safety and security of their investment.
Definitely, we must protect the investor first and the investment, because we are going to benefit from what he is going to do by the provision of employment, by the provision of businesses, improvement of wealth, and of course, putting food on our table. So he is the Lord, he is a big person, better than us, because he's going to improve our lives. We have also built strong institutions across sectors that are stable, functional, and harmonious, and are capable of ensuring security of persons and property, economic development and prosperity, as well as political stability.
We have a cluster at the moment through the Ministry of SME Development, which we have designed dedicated for such purposes. And we give avenues for SME to grow and showcase what they do and what are their challenges in terms of funding opportunities, in terms of mentorship, in terms of ownership.
The upcoming summit is themed Unlocking Bauchi Economic Potential, Gateway to Sustainable Investment. Hajara Aliyu, Channels Television News.
To some company news now, Olam Agri, one of Nigeria's largest agribusiness investors, has rewarded its loyal customers with a variety of exciting prizes, including a brand new car, solar fans and refrigerators, through the Mama's Pride sales promo. At the official prize presentation in Abia State, Samson Abodunri, General Manager of Olam Nigeria Limited, reaffirmed the company's commitment to supporting Nigeria's food security. He noted that as a leading player in the food, feed and fiber sectors, Olam Agri continues to strengthen its role in driving growth within the nation's agricultural landscape.
Excitement lit up the atmosphere as guests and loyal customers thronged the venue of the Mama's Pride Customer Appreciation and Gift Presentation Ceremony in Aba, the bustling commercial hub of Abia State. The gathering was more than a celebration. It was a heartfelt gesture of gratitude. Olam Agri, the global agri-business giant, used the occasion to strengthen ties with trade partners, appreciate loyal customers, and chart fresh paths for expansion. In an emotional remark, a delighted customer praised Olam Agri for keeping its word, describing the reward gesture as a true motivation for customers to work harder.
What are we seeing? Appreciation. Appreciation, goodwill, which will help longevity. Goodwill, which will help us to do more. Goodwill, which will encourage us to work harder. And I want to thank you for this.
For the star prize winner of Olam Agri's customer reward promo, the day was one of pure joy. Overwhelmed with excitement, he expressed heartfelt appreciation to the company for honoring its promise and rewarding loyal customers.
So Olam is the best company, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is the best rice company in Nigeria. Maybe price clash, anything, Olam is there for you.
Speaking to journalists after the ceremony, the general manager of Olam Nigeria Limited, alongside senior members of the company, reaffirmed Olam Agri's unwavering commitments to appreciating and rewarding its loyal customers. He also encouraged others to deepen their partnership with the brand.
We challenge our customers to participate in buying not less than 50 trucks of Mama Sprite within 4 to 6 weeks. And we are committed to give a 70 million worth of a car in the city of Abia.
We want to give back to the customers. We think of how to make them happy, and how to think about us, Olam, always, and how to think of our brands always. That's what informed us doing this promo, and to God be the glory. A lot of people in the East won.
Abia, as one of our key market points in the Southeast, at least we have given up to about 5 cars to our customers to appreciate their patronage and their loyalty to our brand.
The Mama's Pride sales promo was more than a celebration. It was a showcase of customer appreciation. The event drew stakeholders and dignitaries, featured brand visibility campaigns, moving testimonials, and exciting gift presentations.
And for communal peace, sustained growth and meaningful economic development, government must collaborate with the private sector to drive industrialization that can strengthen Nigeria's economic indicators. Speaking at the first anniversary of Jags Hotel in Ibadan, Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde commended the establishment for redefining the hospitality business. He noted that Jags has elevated the sector through top-tier clientele and quality services, contributing positively to tourism in the state.
Jags Hotel Ibadan, imposing and resplendent in the early morning sun and alluring at night. Jags Hotel Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, is a sight for sore eyes. The 81-room hotel boasts of at least 4 categories to cater to the needs of its clientele. Established a year ago, Jags Hotel is hosting an hospitality conference to highlight its achievements and the business-friendly environment in Oyo State.
From purchasing the land to getting approvals and building, we spent less than 2 years. So approval process was so fast for us. And that's why we're coming back again to say we need to give back to Ibadan. Because what we are doing now is to enhance and showcase Oyo State in total to the general public and to the entire world, to say that you can come to Oyo State and invest.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, who was honored at the event for his investment-friendly policies, reiterates that Nigerians now see Ibadan as a place to be, and he happily welcomes one and all to enjoy the state's renewed hospitality drive.
We've seen people, majorly from Lagos, they see Ibadan now as their playground. And we want them to come and play around there. We will do more to attract them, but that is not enough for us. We want people from across the world to be able to come here, feel welcome, and then come back again.
During a panel discussion marking the first-year anniversary of the hotel, panelists shed more light on the growth recorded in the Oyo State tourism sector under the leadership of the present administration in the state.
It's not about exposure. It is about environment. If the environment is not conducive for investing to try, who puts 10 million? You are looking at the tourism image, influence, anthropogenic carbon in the environment is being reduced. And we are talking about tourism to natural places, tourism to rural areas, tourism to where environment, you are seeing environment, you are looking at environment, and you are feeling impact of environment.
The Jags Hospitality Conference provides an avenue for robust discussions on environmental sustainability and future of hospitality in Oyo State and Nigeria at large, with various forms of art exhibitions to showcase some of the potentials Oyo State has to offer the world. Bukola Oriowo, Channels Television News.
Now, still ahead on the news at 10, Central Bank Governor Olayemi Cardoso says Nigeria's growing crypto adoption requires deeper understanding within the financial markets. That's some business news. It runs again.
Welcome back. The Global Fintech Summit 2025 has brought together key leaders from Nigeria's financial sector to deliberate on innovation, partnerships, and the future of financial services. Hosted in Lagos under the theme Collaborative Intelligence, Accelerating the Fintech Frontier, the summit spotlighted strategies to foster sustainable growth and enhance collaboration across the fintech ecosystem.
It's the coming together of innovators, regulators, and industry leaders to shape the future of financial services at the Global Fintech Summit 2025. Under the theme Collaborative Intelligence, conversations focus on accelerating fintech growth, strengthening partnerships, and leveraging technology to expand financial inclusion.
At Global Bank, our mission statement is to serve our customers with passion and deliver superior value to all stakeholders, serving technology and people in the most efficient and responsible manner. Little wonder why fintech is a focus for us. And in the openness and partnership that we represent, we are proud to host the Global Fintech Summit 2025 as part of our value-enhancing initiatives for these emerging, very important segments of our Nigerian financial industry.
One of the unicorns of this speakers emphasized collaboration is central to shaping policy, guiding investment, and driving innovation frameworks across the fintech landscape.
I feel strongly the opportunity we have today as an industry is not to guess what the future looks like. Is to work together to create what we see as a future, and that becomes our reality. So we're not just discussing payments, we're shaping how money will move, and we want to build trust and how innovation will thrive.
We are all operating in silos, the banks on one side, the telcos on the other side, and the government on the other side. But if you study the Indian case, you'll find out that there was a deliberate action plan and a template which was put together. The cell sites, how they will be located, the devices, and so on and so forth, how they will be spread across the country.
We all know that no single entity, whether a bank, a startup, a fintech, or a regulator, can innovate at the necessary speed and scale alone. This theme, collaborative intelligence, perfectly captures the next phase of this journey.
Panel sessions offer participants insight into emerging trends in financial technology, while also providing hands-on experience with Global Bank's TPP application and mobile banking solutions.
And even the giants.
The Global Fintech Summit 2025 serves as a platform for interaction, partnerships, and initiatives designed to spark innovation and growth in Nigeria's financial sector.
Stanbic IBTC has hosted its annual Global Market Forum, a platform dedicated to analyzing global economic trends and examining their implications for businesses and investments in Nigeria. Held under the theme Beyond the Numbers, Unpacking Nigeria's Economic Trajectory, the forum aims to provide clarity and confidence to businesses as they navigate the future.
Thank you all for your time, for your trust, and for...
This is the Global Market Forum, organized by Stanbic IBTC Bank. Business leaders, investors, policymakers, and clients make up the guest list, and they are set to dissect the shift in world economy and implications for Nigeria. The forum, with the theme Beyond the Numbers, Unpacking Nigeria's Economic Trajectory, provides experts a platform to share insight on macroeconomic trends, financial markets, and the role of institutions in driving growth. Executive Director for Corporate and Transaction Banking, Eric Fajemisi, shares that Stanbic IBT's role is beyond financing.
Nigeria stands at a defining moment with reforms and global shifts shaping the opportunities and challenges before us. This platform that we're having today allows us to go a bit deeper than the headlines, and we will hopefully get clarity, context, and insights that can guide decision making. So it's supposed to be useful to us, both as a business and to you as clients also. And at Stanbic IBTC, as Moji has said, our role is just not in financing, it's in partnership. And that's really what we bring out by having these sessions.
The forum is also a venue for collaborative atmosphere that will create innovative solutions.
A lot of reforms have happened this year, and we've seen a lot of movement also from central bank, and we've seen stability in our market. We're beginning to see appreciation. The dividends of all of those reforms are beginning to come. But there is still that big fear in terms of trust and in terms of confidence. So we put this together to show them the numbers and then to reveal that all of the reforms are beginning to yield, and then it provides a better platform for planning for 2026.
Stanbic IBTC says it is not just a financier, but also offers clients informed and strategic decisions in an evolving economy.
We've been able to provide great insights for our clients. Outside providing market updates for clients, we've been able to also leverage on the products, to allow them basically hedge FX volatilities, interest rates volatilities, and for FI clients and non-bank financial institution clients, we've also helped them with yield enhancement products. So all of these insights we provide them, and the products help them to make informed decisions, and also help them to navigate the headwinds we experience in our markets.
As a thought leader in the financial sector, try to unpack issues in the economy and help investors and also corporates as well to take advantage of various opportunities.
With Nigeria navigating reforms and global economic shifts, Stanbic IBTC's Global Market Forum says it offers clarity and confidence for businesses charting the path ahead.
More business news now with Dominic Iwiwo.
Thank you, Ayatunde. On business news, the central bank governor, Mr. Olami Cardoso, says the growing adoption of cryptocurrencies and other digital assets in the country requires better understanding in the financial market in order to protect investors, particularly the youth. He made this known today as a keynote speaker at the CBN Governor's annual lecture series hosted by the Lagos Business School. Mr. Cardoso also recalled how Nigeria was thrust into global crypto prominence 2 years ago when regulators struggled to manage coin exchange markets, with the country ranked among the largest crypto trading hubs worldwide.
We were regarded as having, I don't know how true it is, but some of the statistics that came out put Nigeria as number 2 in terms of cryptocurrency trading. I don't know how true it is, but certainly the volumes of crypto are very large. And as a result of some of those things, of course, the Security and Exchange Commission have started the process of putting a framework around that. And to be frank, we're deepening collaboration to ensure that all the different regulatory authorities can midwife a process that is sustainable with respect to digital currencies.
Credits to Nigeria's private sector dropped to 75.8 trillion naira in August 2025, down from 76.12 trillion in June. This is according to the Central Bank of Nigeria. This marks the 5th decline in lending to businesses and individuals this year. According to the data, the credits to private sector peaked in April 2025, recording 78.1 trillion naira. This trend of declining credit began in February 2025 when total private sector credit fell from 77.3 trillion in January to 76.3 trillion. The downward movement continued in March, slipping further to 75.9 trillion. Although April witnessed a temporary rebound to 78.1 trillion naira, the gains were short-lived as credit declined again in May and June. The domestic equities market closes positive as investors showed buy interest in Aradel Holdings. Inijomekwa tells us more.
everyone. Welcome to the Stock Market Report. Well, it's looking like the recent divestment of Africa Capital Alliance from Aradel is bringing some blessings its way, because we see it as the market mover today. So it opened today at 615 naira 40 kobo. But at the close of trade, Aradel has gone up to 615 naira, and that, of course, has put some money in the pockets of some very smart investors. Look at the sectors, and we'll see other contributors to the green color that the market has sustained at the close of Friday's trade. Banking, for instance, is up 0.65%. That's because of Accessco, UBA, and Zenith Bank, the big guys, you would say. Consumer goods also has done even much more than that, mainly because of Dangote Sugar, but you also have supporting Nigerian breweries and PZ. Oil and gas, I think, is the biggest storyteller of today. So we see it 2.34%. Japol Gold, yes, Aradel, the market mover, and O&O, they made that to happen. And then we see the oil share is up almost 0.5%, and we're building our position on the 143,000 level right there. Market cap gained more than 300 billion, in fact, almost 400 billion. It's 385 billion, and we see that market cap right there at 91.135 trillion naira. It's an exciting day for a lot of investors today, and an exciting one for the bull.
Thank you, Ini. Let's see the snapshot of closing numbers for other major global equities. And that's it on Business News. Back to Ayotune for the rest of the news at 10.
Hamas says it has agreed to release hostages, Israeli hostages that is, both living and dead, but seeks changes and further negotiations on a number of key points of the U.S.-Gaza peace proposal. Here's Simon Pusey with more international news and around the world in 5 from our London studio.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. President Donald Trump has said he and his budget director will work out which Democrat agencies to cut as the U.S. government shutdown approaches its third day. He suggested Republicans should seize the opportunity to clear out dead wood and gave no hint of concessions to Democratic demands that legislation funding the government should include health care insurance subsidies. Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill, meanwhile, continue to blame each other for failing to keep federal agencies open. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers are staying home, while others worked without pay.
Leader Schumer and myself haven't gotten a single phone call as it relates to a follow-up conversation. We're ready to have that conversation, but we need credible partners on the other side of the aisle. And Donald Trump and Republicans have made clear they wanted to shut down the government. They want to inflict pain on the American people.
Meanwhile, the U.S. president has given Hamas a firm deadline to accept a U.S. peace plan for Gaza, agreed between himself and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Trump wrote on his Truth Social platform on Friday that an agreement must be reached by Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Washington, D.C. time. The plan proposes an immediate end to fighting and the release within 72 hours of 20 living Israeli hostages held by Hamas, as well as the remains of hostages thought to be dead, in exchange for hundreds of detained Gazans. Arab and Turkish mediators are understood to be pressing Hamas for a positive response to the proposal, but a senior Hamas figure has said the armed group is likely to reject it. Greater Manchester Police say one of the victims killed in the synagogue attack on Thursday was hit by police gunfire as officers shot the attacker. 2 Jewish men were killed when a man drove a car at members of the public before stabbing people. The victims have been named as Adrian Dolby and Melvin Kravitz. 3 people remain in hospital, with one also being treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound.
This was an appalling anti-Semitic attack on our Jewish friends and neighbours, and we are here today because, as Bev said, we care about you, we love you, we value what you have given to Greater Manchester over the years. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. That is the permanent principle, the firm foundation on which this city region has been built by you, by us, by everyone here over centuries. That is who we are. And we will not let this break us in any way, shape or form.
A power surge that caused a widespread blackout in Spain and Portugal was the most severe in Europe in the last 20 years and the first of its kind, according to a report. The president of the Association of Electricity Grid Operators, ENSOE, said the incident was the first known blackout to be caused by overvoltage, which occurs when there is too much electrical voltage in a network. April's outage caused significant disruption for nearly a day when it plunged areas into darkness, cutting internet and telephone connections and halting transport links. A massive fire has erupted at a Chevron refinery in Los Angeles. The company confirmed that no injuries had been reported and all refinery personnel were accounted for. Emergency crews, including local police, firefighters and the refinery's own fire department, responded to the fire. The blaze is currently contained to one section of the refinery, though the cause remains unknown. No injuries have been reported and all refinery personnel and contractors have been accounted for. And the Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg has abdicated, handing over the throne to his eldest son, Grand Duke Guillaume. The new Grand Duke vowed to ensure the monarch looked to the future, saying, "I wish to be the Grand Duke who builds bridges between generations, between tradition and innovation." His father, who served 25 years in the largely symbolic role, announced that he planned to abdicate late last year as he delivered his Christmas speech. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. Super Eagles head coach Eric Schell has unveiled a list of 23 players for this month's must-win 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches against Lesotho and Benin Republic. Eagles forward Victor Osimhen, who was missing in the team's trip to South Africa, and defender Shemi Ajayi, who missed the last 2 matches in the September window due to injury, are back in the team. Nigeria now in 3rd place and only 3 points off first place Benin Republic, and second place South Africa tackled the Crocodiles of Lesotho at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane, South Africa on October the 10th, and will wrap up the qualifiers in Uyo against leaders Benin Republic on October the 14th. FIFA has unveiled the official match ball for the 2026 World Cup, combining high-tech refinement and design details, celebrating the 3 co-host countries, the United States, Mexico, and Canada. The ball, called Triunder, was again designed by German manufacturers Adidas, provider of the official World Cup ball since the 1970 tournament. The first World Cup organized by 3 countries with 48 teams competing inspired both the name and the design of the ball, featuring red, blue, and green colors.
Thank you, Chris. And the main news again. Former President Goodluck Jonathan today has said the 2014 Chibok schoolgirl's abduction left a scar that will stay with him for life. And Hamas says it has agreed to release Israeli hostages, both living and dead, but seeks changes and further negotiations on a number of key points of the U.S. Gaza peace proposal. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. You have a good night and have a great weekend.